Listen to me. Every second that passes is gone forever. Gone. You cannot get it back. And yet, most people live like tomorrow is guaranteed, like time is endless, like opportunities will always wait for them. Let me tell you something. It won't. Life is happening right now, whether you're ready or not. And the question is simple. Are you going to sit there and let it slip through your fingers, or are you going to grab it, own it, and build something extraordinary with it? Think about your dreams, think about your goals, think about the person you want to become. Are you moving toward that version of yourself, or are you scrolling, watching, waiting, and making excuses? Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you are stealing from your future self. Every wasted hour, every mindless habit, every hesitation is costing you your life. And I promise you this, life will not reward hesitation. Life will reward massive action. Life will reward people who decide, right here, right now, that enough is enough. You see, success, happiness, fulfillment, they are not things that just happen, they are built. Brick by brick, day by day, decision by decision. And the foundation of that building is your time. Time is your most valuable asset. Not money, not connections, not luck. Time. How you spend it determines who you become. Not what you say you want, not the plans you make, but the actions you take. Look around you. How many people are living lives that are not theirs? Stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, routines that numb them. And why? Because they're comfortable. They are afraid to step up, to take risks, to chase the life they know deep down they deserve. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort will keep you small, stuck, and ordinary. If you want a life worth living, you have to step out of comfort. You have to push yourself. You have to work harder, think bigger, and refuse to settle for anything less than your potential. Let me ask you, what are you waiting for? A sign, a perfect moment, news flash. The perfect moment is a lie. The stars will never align. There will never be a flawless time. The only moment you have is now. And if you don't start now, you will look back years from now, full of regret, wishing you had started sooner, wishing you had dared to try, wishing you had fought for your life. So here's what I want you to do. Stop wasting time. Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for permission. Start building your life starting today. Write your goals down. Make your plan. Take massive, consistent action. Learn, grow, fail, get back up, and keep moving forward. Every step counts. Every choice matters. Every second is your chance to become the person you've always wanted to be. Remember, life is not about luck. Life is about decisions. Life is about commitment. Life is about discipline. You will not stumble into greatness. You will create it. And it all starts with one decision. The decision to stop wasting time and start building your life today. Because here's the truth. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the action you refuse to take. So take it. Take it now. No more waiting. No more hesitation. Your life is yours to build. Are you ready to build it, or are you ready to watch it pass by? Time is the one resource that every human being shares equally, yet it is the one resource most of us squander without even realizing it. From the moment we wake up in the morning to the moment we close our eyes at night, every second is an opportunity to move closer to the life we want, to grow, to learn, to make an impact, to create, and to become the best version of ourselves. Yet so many people live as if time is infinite, as if tomorrow will always exist, as if there will always be another chance to start, another chance to chase their dreams, another chance to become who they know they are capable of being. The truth is that time is fleeting, relentless, and unforgiving. The hours, minutes, and seconds you spend scrolling through social media, watching shows, or indulging in meaningless distractions are hours, minutes, and seconds that will never return. Each moment that passes is a moment that could have been invested in building your future, in developing your skills, in pursuing your passions, and in creating the life you desire. The first step to understanding the value of time is to truly recognize its scarcity. You cannot manufacture more of it, you cannot borrow it, You cannot save it like money. Once a moment is gone, it is gone forever, and with it, the potential to take action and make progress toward your goals. This is why awareness of time is the foundation of all achievement. People who accomplish extraordinary things in life are not necessarily more talented or more intelligent than the rest of us. What they have mastered is the art of using time deliberately, strategically, and intentionally. They understand that every choice about how they spend their day either moves them closer to their vision or further away from it. Time, when used consciously, becomes a powerful ally. It allows you to build momentum, develop mastery, and create compounding results over months and years. But when time is wasted, when it is treated carelessly, the consequences are equally powerful in the negative direction. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. And before you know it, you are looking back at a life that could have been, filled with regret for all the moments you let slip by. Think about the routines in your life. How much of your day is spent on things that truly matter versus things that simply fill the time? How often do you justify idle habits with statements like, "I need a break," "I'll do it later," or "I deserve this moment of relaxation"? Breaks and rest are essential, but when they become the default mode of living, when they dominate your schedule more than action and progress, they become a form of self-sabotage. Every choice to procrastinate, to delay, to distract yourself is a choice to steal from your future self. Your future self, the person who will benefit from your efforts, who will live the life you dream of, is counting on you to use your time wisely right now. Time is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. Every hour invested in learning, every moment spent practicing a skill, every minute devoted to growth and improvement strengthens that bridge. Every hour wasted weakens it, making the path to your dreams longer and more difficult. This is why mastery over time is not just a skill, it is a discipline. It requires awareness, intentionality, and accountability. It requires you to take ownership of your schedule and make conscious decisions about what you allow to occupy your energy and attention. It is not enough to have goals or dreams. Without disciplined use of time, those dreams remain just that, dreams. The most successful people in history, the ones who have left a lasting impact on the world, all share a common trait. They treat time as sacred. They structure their days around you activities. They prioritize action over distraction. They understand that every moment invested compounds, creating results far beyond the initial effort. Conversely, those who fail, who feel stuck, who look back with regret, often do so because they treated time casually, as if it were unlimited, as if the present moment did not carry weight. To stop wasting time, you must first recognize that the present is your only true asset. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only control you have is over the actions you take in this moment. You must cultivate a sense of urgency, not a frantic, anxious urgency, but a focused, deliberate urgency that drives you to take massive action consistently. This urgency becomes the engine that propels you forward, that ensures you are no longer drifting through life passively, but actively shaping it according to your vision. You also need to become ruthless in eliminating activities that do not serve your goals. Every distraction, every low-value task, every habit that consumes time without adding meaningful progress must be identified and minimized. This is not about perfection, and it is not about exhausting yourself. It is about prioritizing what truly matters. Time management is not about cramming more into your day. It is about investing in what moves the needle, in what builds your life, rather than merely fills your hours. Another key principle is the power of planning and structure. Those who maximize their time are deliberate in designing their days. They know their priorities and schedule their activities accordingly. They protect blocks of time for focused work, for personal growth, for relationships, and for rest, understanding that each of these areas contributes to a balanced, performance life. And finally, the mindset you bring to time is critical. Seeing every moment as an opportunity rather than a burden transforms your approach. Viewing time as a precious, non-renewable resource creates clarity, focus, and a sense of responsibility. You begin to live with purpose, to act with intention, and to recognize that your daily choices are the building blocks of your future. Time, when respected and harnessed, becomes the ultimate leverage point for achieving success, fulfillment, and lasting impact. Excuses are the invisible chains that keep people trapped in mediocrity, preventing them from stepping into their true potential. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm too tired," or "I don't have enough resources," you are giving away your power and your future. Excuses are comfortable. They allow you to justify inaction while pretending that your dreams are still within reach. But the truth is that the longer you make excuses, the further your dreams drift away. Every excuse you make is a choice, a conscious or unconscious decision to remain where you are rather than pursue the life you know you deserve. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to change something about your life, but found a reason not to? How many times have you told yourself that you would start a new habit, a new project, or a new direction, only to delay because the conditions weren't perfect? Excuses are seductive because they protect you from fear. They shield you from the discomfort of taking action, from the vulnerability of risking failure, and from the responsibility of owning your results. But in reality, excuses are nothing more than illusions. They do not solve problems, they do not create opportunities, and they do not move you closer to your goals. The moment you recognize this, you begin to reclaim control. Excuses are also contagious. When you surround yourself with people who make excuses, who rationalize their inaction, who blame circumstances or other people for their lack of progress, their mindset infects you. You begin to adopt their patterns and slowly, subtly, you become comfortable with stagnation. But the opposite is also true. When you surround yourself with individuals who take ownership, who act decisively, who refuse to let excuses dictate their lives, you begin to absorb their energy, their discipline, and their relentless pursuit of growth. Excuses are a choice, and every time you choose to reject them, you choose freedom. You choose to step into a reality where your actions define your results, where your effort determines your outcome, and where your future is in your hands. The power to stop making excuses starts with self-awareness. You must become conscious of the moments when you rationalize your inaction. You must catch yourself in the act of creating justifications and challenge them immediately. Ask yourself, is this reason real, or am I simply afraid? Am I hiding behind a story that keeps me safe from discomfort? Excuses often mask deeper fears: fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change. When you identify the fear beneath the excuse, you can confront it directly, and you can take action in spite of it. Another critical aspect of overcoming excuses is responsibility. Responsibility is the antidote to excuses. When you take full responsibility for your life, for your choices, for your results, you eliminate the need for justification. Responsibility means acknowledging that you are the primary architect of your future, and that no one else is accountable for your progress. It means refusing to blame circumstances, other people, or luck, and understanding that your destiny is created by what you do today, not by what happens to you. Action is the ultimate solution to excuses. Excuses have power only when you allow them to prevent action. Once you decide to act despite the obstacles, the excuses lose their grip. Every small step you take, every decision to move forward in spite of discomfort, weakens the hold of excuses and strengthens your confidence, your momentum, and your ability to overcome challenges. Discipline and consistency are crucial here. Excuses often emerge in moments of fatigue, frustration, or uncertainty. By committing to daily, consistent action toward your goals, You build resilience and reduce the space for excuses to creep in. The more you take responsibility and act decisively, the more excuses lose their relevance. Mindset also plays a central role. Those who succeed understand that obstacles are part of the process, not reasons to quit. They see failure not as a judgment but as feedback, not as a reason to delay but as a reason to adjust and keep moving forward. When you adopt this mindset, excuses begin to appear trivial and powerless in comparison to your vision and your purpose. In addition, accountability is a powerful tool against excuses. When you make your commitments public, share your goals with mentors or peers, and hold yourself accountable for progress, you create external pressure that reduces the likelihood of giving in to rationalizations. Accountability transforms intentions into actions, making excuses increasingly unacceptable in your life. Finally, it is essential to recognize that making excuses comes at a cost. Every hour spent justifying inaction is an hour not spent creating results, growing, or pursuing your dreams. The cumulative effect of excuses is enormous. It can determine the difference between a life of regret and a life of achievement. To eliminate excuses from your life, you must cultivate awareness, take responsibility, embrace discomfort, commit to consistent action, surround yourself with accountability, and develop a mindset that prioritizes progress over justification. Once you do this, you free yourself from the chains that have held you back, and you step into a life where your potential is no longer limited by fear, hesitation, or rationalization. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone. Comfort is seductive. It whispers to you that staying where you are is safe, that avoiding risk is wise, and that keeping things familiar is smart. It makes you feel secure even when security is an illusion. But real transformation, real achievement, and real fulfillment exist outside of comfort. If you want to create a life that matters, if you want to achieve the extraordinary, you must be willing to embrace discomfort, to lean into challenges, and to confront the uncertainty that comes with stepping into the unknown. The first step to understanding this is recognizing the difference between comfort and growth. Comfort is easy, predictable, and often repetitive. Growth is hard, unpredictable, and requires effort. When you remain in comfort, you are essentially pressing pause on your potential. Your dreams, your goals, and your capabilities are left dormant because you are unwilling to push the boundaries of what you know. Think about it. Every person you admire, every success story, every breakthrough was born from moments of discomfort. Every athlete, every entrepreneur, every leader, every innovator faced moments when they had to risk what was safe for what was possible. They experienced fear, doubt, and uncertainty, but they chose to act anyway. That is the defining trait of anyone who achieves more than average, the willingness to endure discomfort for the sake of growth. Comfort can come in many forms. It can be physical, like sticking to a routine that feels easy, avoiding exercise, or neglecting your health. It can be mental, like refusing to learn new skills, avoiding challenging ideas, or sticking to familiar beliefs. It can be emotional, like avoiding difficult conversations, refusing to confront personal weaknesses, or remaining in relationships that drain rather than uplift you. Each form of comfort may feel harmless in the moment, but over time it erodes your potential and limits your impact. Growth, on the other hand, requires intentional discomfort. It requires that you push yourself into situations that stretch your abilities, challenge your mindset, and force you to adapt. This might mean taking on projects that intimidate you, pursuing goals that seem beyond your current capacity, or facing fears that you have been avoiding for years. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand your boundaries and build confidence in your ability to handle the unknown. One of the greatest barriers to growth is fear disguised as comfort. People often mistake fear for logic, telling themselves that staying safe is the smart choice. But fear is not your friend. It is a signal that you are approaching growth. It is a guide that points to where you need to stretch, where you need to act, and where you need to evolve. When you learn to interpret fear as a sign of opportunity rather than danger, you unlock the pathway to personal transformation. Another essential aspect is the understanding that comfort is often social. Society, culture, and even family can encourage you to play it safe, to conform, and to avoid taking risks. While these influences are natural, they can subtly reinforce a pattern of mediocrity. Recognizing this allows you to take control of your choices and deliberately step away from the expectations that keep you small. Growth also requires patience and persistence. Stepping out of comfort is not a one-time event. It is a continuous practice. Every day presents opportunities to challenge yourself, to make small decisions that push your limits, and to embrace experiences that develop resilience, skill, and wisdom. The cumulative effect of these daily actions compounds over time, creating results that far exceed what would have been possible inside a comfort zone. Discipline and mindset are key here. You must condition yourself to value long-term progress over immediate ease. You must train your mind to see discomfort not as a punishment, but as a prerequisite for achievement. This shift in perspective changes the way you respond to challenges, turning obstacles into stepping stones rather than barriers. Surrounding yourself with others who embrace growth accelerates your journey. People who push boundaries, seek challenges, and refuse to settle inspire you to do the same. Their energy, habits, and example create a culture of growth that makes stepping outside your comfort zone not just possible, but exciting. Reflection and self-awareness are also crucial. Regularly assess where you are comfortable, where you are resisting growth, and where you are avoiding challenges. These moments of honesty allow you to identify the areas in your life that require intentional discomfort, and they empower you to take action. Ultimately, the life you desire, the success you seek, and the impact you wish to have cannot be achieved by staying comfortable. Comfort may feel safe, but it is an illusion that keeps you small. Growth requires courage, persistence, and a willingness to face the unknown. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you expand your capabilities, increase your resilience, and move closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality, the fuel that transforms ideas into results, and the force that shapes your future. Without action, even the most brilliant plan, the clearest vision, and the most passionate desire remain inert, existing only in your mind. Many people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they fail to act consistently and decisively. They wait for the perfect moment, for the conditions to align, for the inspiration to strike, but life does not reward waiting. Life rewards those who move, who commit to doing, who refuse to be paralyzed by fear, doubt, or indecision. The first principle of action is understanding its necessity. Thinking, planning, and dreaming are essential components of success. But without action, they are empty gestures. Action validates intention, creates momentum, and generates feedback that allows you to adjust, refine, and improve. Every successful person knows that mistakes and failures are inevitable, but the willingness to act despite uncertainty separates those who achieve from those who only aspire. Action is a skill that can be cultivated. It is not merely about doing, it is about doing with focus, consistency, and purpose. Many people confuse busyness with action. They fill their days with tasks that give the illusion of progress, but do not move them closer to their goals. True action is deliberate. It is aligned with your objectives, and it prioritizes high-impact activities over trivial pursuits. Consistency amplifies the power of action. One-time efforts rarely yield significant results. It is the accumulation of small, intentional actions repeated day after day, week after week, and month after month that builds mastery, produces results, and creates momentum. The compounding effect of consistent action is often underestimated, yet it is the foundation of long-term achievement. Courage and action are inseparable. Taking action often requires stepping into discomfort, facing fear, and confronting uncertainty. The moment you act in spite of fear, you expand your confidence, strengthen your resilience, and redefine your limits. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act despite fear, and every act of courage reinforces your ability to act again. Clarity of purpose magnifies the impact of action. When you are clear about your goals, your values, and the vision you are pursuing, your actions become focused and powerful. Clarity allows you to prioritize effectively, to avoid distractions, and to allocate your energy to what truly matters. In contrast, lack of clarity leads to scattered effort, wasted time, and frustration. Accountability enhances action. When you hold yourself accountable, whether through self-discipline, mentors, peers, or public commitments, your likelihood of following through increases dramatically. Accountability creates structure, reinforces discipline, and transforms intention into results. Action also involves adaptability. Rarely does a plan unfold perfectly. The ability to take action, assess results, and adjust strategies as needed is critical. Flexibility in execution ensures that even when obstacles arise, progress continues. Momentum is a powerful byproduct of action. The first step is often the hardest, but once you move, the act of moving generates energy that propels you forward. Momentum creates confidence, reduces hesitation, and makes subsequent actions easier and more effective. Action combats doubt. Fear and hesitation thrive in inactivity. Every time you take decisive action, you weaken doubt, strengthen belief, and create evidence that you are capable of achieving your goals. Action also builds skill. You cannot learn mastery from observation alone. Practice, repetition, and real-world experience are required. Each action you take hones your abilities, deepens your understanding, and moves you closer to excellence. The timing of action is critical. Waiting for perfect conditions is a trap. The world is unpredictable, and conditions are never ideal. Those who succeed act decisively with the resources and circumstances available, adapting as they go, rather than postponing progress indefinitely. Energy management is part of effective action. Action requires physical, mental, and emotional stamina. Prioritizing health, focus, and mental clarity ensures that when it is time to act, you can do so with full power and effectiveness. Finally, action is an attitude. It is a commitment to refusing passivity, to taking ownership of your life, and to pursuing results relentlessly. It is the understanding that your life is shaped not by what you dream, but by what you do. Every act, no matter how small, is a step toward building the life you desire. The key is to act with intention, act consistently, act courageously, and act in alignment with your vision, knowing that the accumulation of these actions creates the future you seek. The decision to take control of your life begins with the recognition that waiting is a luxury you cannot afford. Too many people spend their days in a state of hesitation, believing that opportunity will present itself perfectly, that the timing will somehow become ideal, or that circumstances will align in their favor. The reality is that the perfect moment does not exist, and life will continue moving forward whether you are ready or not. Every day that you postpone decisive action is a day lost. Lost to distractions, lost to fear, lost to comfort, and lost to inaction. To start building the life you want, you must embrace the urgency of now. This means rejecting the notion that tomorrow is guaranteed, and accepting that your present choices determine the shape of your future. Waiting often comes from fear, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of the unknown. It is easy to rationalize delay, to tell yourself that you need more preparation, more resources, more confidence. But preparation without action is meaningless, and waiting for conditions to be perfect is an endless trap. Every successful person understands that progress requires imperfect action taken consistently. You do not need all the answers, you do not need all the tools, and you do not need all the confidence to start. You only need the willingness to begin and the commitment to continue. The first step is always the hardest because it forces you to confront uncertainty and discomfort. Yet it is also the step that sets everything else in motion. Momentum is created the moment you decide to move, and it is momentum that carries you through challenges, doubt, and obstacles. Making the decision to act decisively also requires clarity about what you truly want. Many people delay because they are unsure of their destination. They wait for clarity to appear, but clarity is not a gift. It is earned through action, experimentation, and experience. As you take steps forward, you gain insight, refine your direction, and understand what truly matters to you. Accountability strengthens your commitment to decisive action. When you publicly commit to a goal, share it with mentors, peers, or loved ones, you create an external structure that reinforces your determination. Accountability transforms intentions into action and reduces the space for excuses and hesitation to creep in. Discipline is the backbone of turning decisions into results. The choice to act must be supported by habits and routines that prioritize what matters most. Discipline ensures that even when motivation wanes, when obstacles appear, or when fear surfaces, you continue moving forward. Every consistent effort compounds over time, producing results far greater than any single action could achieve alone. Courage is inseparable from decisive action. Action requires stepping into the unknown, confronting discomfort, and taking risks. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act in spite of it. Every courageous step reinforces your confidence, expands your capabilities, and empowers you to tackle even greater challenges. Action also requires adaptability. Life rarely unfolds according to plan, and the ability to adjust, pivot, and respond to new information is critical. Those who succeed are not necessarily the ones with perfect foresight. They are the ones who act decisively and then adapt as needed. The mindset of urgency transforms your approach to time, decisions, and opportunities. When you operate from the understanding that your present is all you have, you make every choice with intention and purpose. Procrastination loses its appeal, and you begin to recognize that inaction has a cost far greater than the discomfort of moving forward. Energy management plays a role as well. Decisive action requires physical stamina, mental focus, and emotional resilience. Investing in your health, mindset, and preparation ensures that when it is time to act, you can do so at your highest capacity. Another essential aspect is learning to embrace failure as feedback. Decisive action does not mean perfection. It means engagement, experimentation, and the willingness to learn. Every misstep provides insight, strengthens resilience, and moves you closer to mastery. The accumulation of small, consistent decisions compounds over time into significant progress. Each choice you make today either propels you toward your goals or reinforces stagnation. Understanding the impact of your daily actions creates a sense of responsibility and empowerment, showing you that your life is shaped not by chance, but by the decisions you make and the actions you take. Vision fuels action. The clearer your vision, the more focused and effective your efforts. A compelling vision provides motivation, direction, and purpose, ensuring that your actions are aligned with your highest aspirations. It becomes the standard against which you measure every choice, guiding you away from distractions and toward what truly matters. To live a life of impact and fulfillment, you must make the conscious choice to stop waiting, to reject hesitation, to seize the moment, and to commit fully to building the life you want. The power lies not in luck, not in circumstance, and not in permission, but in the decision to act decisively, consistently, and intentionally